Hello, and this is Mr. Frazier again, and you are here in the navigation video. This is kind of a step-by-step video on how to successfully navigate through this course. Okay, so let's start with some of the basics. So Mr. Frazier is going to first log in to a class as himself, as a student, so that I can show you the same thing that you see. So here we go. I will enter as myself. There we are. Hey, look, this is what your screen will look like. Your name, welcome, and over here in the top left are the lessons. So let's look at what a lesson looks like. Lesson 1. Oh, getting started. Hang on, let me read this. I will tell you it's important to read a lot of this stuff. This is information that I talked about in the welcome video, as well as other ways of navigating around. So it shows you how to use notes, how to use the tools. Um, there are how to access the videos that are available in this class. Alrighty, as well as parts of the lesson. So, submitting your work, understanding what the icons mean. This is important because the caution one is one you will see quite frequently on certain pieces. So let's go ahead and continue. All right, so I read the lessons, and as I read the lessons, I can access things. As I read the lessons, I can access things through the menu as well. So let's look at the checklist. A lot of people avoid the checklist, but the checklist is important because, as you see on the module checklist, it tells you approximately how long each assignment will take, right? About 45 minutes for the instruction, 15 minutes for the assignment. Remember, just because it says adding and subtracting decimals does not mean you are only learning what you may already know. Please make sure that there are other things that are taught in those lessons, and you want to make sure that you read all of them, okay? And that's a pretty easy one. That one is usually situations to get you locked out of pretests. So these are important because you can only have one browser opened up at a time, and a pretest is really only worth about a half a percentage by the time you're all done. So you add up all the pretests, and they're a very minor part of your grade, as well as some of the practice tests. Alrighty, so we see both those. And here is a brief quiz to start on adding and subtracting decimals. So the lessons move sequentially, as you should. And when you finish a lesson, I'm going to go straight to page 6. As I finish a lesson, I'm going to see these are the objectives. Can I add and can I subtract decimals? And this is a summary of what we were learning. Okay, directions, and there's a review guide. You can click that. It gives you a paper you can print out. And then on the bottom, it says assignment. You did it. You've reached the end of the lesson, and you're ready to show what you know. Go to the assessments area, which is here, and click on 1.01. Yay! And I would go take that assessment. Okay, 1.01. I'm good to go. I click on it, and it should take me to that assessment, and I can attempt it. Please make sure you are reading the directions carefully and following along with what they ask you to answer. Now, in some of the modules, there is something that's called a practice review test. So here I am, and it's listed in the assessments. I'm going to show you really quick. In the assessments, it says practice review test, which is right here. But if you try to click on it, it's going to tell you, if you're reading this, stop, you're in the wrong place. This assignment is on page 2 of this lesson. You won't see any pictures here, and you don't see any pictures here, right? It's just a bunch of words. So when we're doing these, you have to be careful because they're actually on page 2 of the lesson, which I'll show you. So there's page 1, And this is the assessment right here, practice review test. Now, as you read everything like you should be doing, it won't be necessarily a difficult task because it warns you several times that the assessment is not to be done in the assessment area, but to be done here. All right? So as long as you're reading carefully, you shouldn't miss anything. See, and this one has pictures. So if I click begin, you'll see the pictures. Whereas the other one does not have pictures. All right. So now that we've gone to the reading of the lessons and finding where my assignments are and all that good stuff, let's talk about some extra resources. So here we are in the extra resources, okay? Notes and videos. You're gonna love this page because, ta-da, you click on it and here are our study guide notes. You click on the word notes for 1-1 and what it does is it downloads a Word file. I'll pull it over here so you can see what it looks like. That gives you information and then allows you to print out notes to write up what is important in the module or in that particular lesson. All right. And it puts them in order for you. So you got 1, 2. The order of your notes is really important if you want to be successful in the class because you can use the notes for every quiz, test, DBA, exam, all of it. So you want to really, really focus on being a good note taker. And then there's also videos on topics in case you're having a hard time with it. Okay. And then there are those parents who ask, well, where can they do some extra practice? That's right here where it says extra practice. And these are all separated by module, module 1, module 2. So let me go back to my homepage and show you that that is this button right here, notes and videos. Okay. The next thing is, let's say we get all the way to the DBA. Hey, there's a DBA review guide. I can click that. That kind of summarizes the module. So you're going to talk about the things you learned about in the module. And I would say pay attention to the vocab because vocabulary is what drives most of the math in this class. All right? So being able to explain how to do things. All righty. So now that we're done with that, let's look at a couple other things. Being able to access Word. Okay, that's through Clever. Okay, most of you at school know what that blue Clever is. It's your R2D2 and password, clever.com, and then you can use Office 365. Most students already know what that is, but I will show you some extra tools. So as we go into the lessons, you're going to see this again, and let's go to the first one, and you're going to see across the top it says notes. Now, these aren't really notes. These are how to take notes. But if you're using the note-taking guide, you're fine. Then there's a glossary, there's a print tool, and then there's tools. The nice thing about the tools is sometimes they'll ask you to write a number line. Here are number lines already done for you. You can copy and paste them and put them in your Word document so that you're not trying to freehand draw them, okay, because that can be messy. And then there's graphing paper, which you can cut and paste and put on your Word document as well. Remember, all of your work does have to be typed up. We cannot take pictures and cannot take pictures of work. We have to take typed up work. We can take pictures of pictures at times, but we cannot take pictures of your work. And your written answers should be in complete sentences. That's what makes it advanced. All right. Other than that, these couple other icons up here are important. This is the main menu where you can access everything still. Send an email. You can see your assessments. There's all sorts of other things you're able to do, what you stored online. Then there's your mail. Last but not least is we're going to go over how to submit assignments. Okay. So we're going to go do that assessment, right? And when we click on the assessment, I'm just going to pick one, right? And I'll go through and pick answers. Not right answers, I'm just going to pick them. At the end, you'll see this little box right here. That little box tells me to check this box to submit for grading. So once I do that, I then submit the exam and it tells me all the questions aren't answered. So now I got to go back and make sure I answered all my questions. Okay, now I'm going to do it. So it does double check to make sure you're doing it correctly. There we go. And now it tells me there's one question left undone. So I'm going to put that one in and then click it again. So there's many fail safes there to make sure that you're doing the assignments the way you're supposed to. Now, if you're not seeing that, be careful because you may be logged in as mom and dad by accident. They're going to see everything that you will, except they can't submit your work. See, it gives me a grade, and then right here it says, do you want to reset the exam? This is what you'll see in your grade book as well. So let's leave, and I'll go to the grade book. Okay, and then I'm going to go down to my assignment, click on it, because I was not happy with the grade. And it allows me to reset the exam if I so choose. All right, so the last but not least is an assignment that you have to type up. You heard me talking about typing up work. So let's look at one of those assignments and what that looks like. There's still a little button you're going to have to submit for grading. Notice it says assignment, which tells me, hey, there is a PDF file to help you understand what this is about. That's in the help. So I've given you other stuff. And basically all you do is you take the file and you can drag it and drop it right there, and it will automatically load it. Or you can click add files. Either way, they both work. And then when you finish, you click here, submit for grading. If you don't click the submit for grading, it's going to save the assignment there, but it doesn't submit it to me, and I can't see it. I can't even look at it. If it isn't good or there's something wrong with it, we will critique it and send it back to you so that you can make corrections and resubmit. I thank you for watching this navigation video, and I wish you all of the luck in the world on this class, as well as a good experience working with Virtual School. Remember, if you have any questions, reach out to your letter assigned teacher, and you can also always give Mr. Frazier a call. It's not a problem. All right, you guys have a great day.